define discipline, okay? In a wrestling sense, for me, discipline is about doing actually what you're told, okay? In a technical standpoint. So, what does double mean? What does the word double mean? Two, right? So if you went to McDonald's, or you went to wherever, and you ordered a double cheeseburger, right? You with me? And they gave you, they gave it to you, you open it up, and then there was one piece of meat in there. You'd be like, oh, what happened? I ordered a double. I got a single. It's bad, right? Well, you guys are doing that to me right now. All right, I say double leg, and you do this. This ain't double, right? You're switching to a double, it's not double. I know what I'm telling you, and I know all the shots. I know all the shots, okay? I'm telling you double for a reason. You wrestle the scrambler. The guy that twists, he turns, he bends, he's rubber, okay? You can't shoot a single leg and then switch to a double. It's got to be a double leg. There's a reason, okay? I got to control two of his limbs, so I'm telling you straight double for a reason. And if you don't have the discipline to go out there and execute what the coach tells you to do in here, what's going to happen in the match when you know what, the crowd and there's people screaming and you're down by one and the coach says double and you hit a single leg and he goes to the crackdown position and you get beat. When I say double, I mean double, okay? Trust me, I understand what I'm saying. I didn't just make a mistake and say double when I meant single. I meant double, okay? Double leg. How do you gotta shoot singles? I will get to singles. I'm not there yet. Okay? You have to have a straight double. Hey, this is just a general rule of thumb. Scrambler, twists, turns, Ben Askren style guy, beat him with a double. You beat the guy with a double. Or a front headlock. Something that controls two of his limbs. Can't beat him with one limb. Okay? You have to know that. I'm going to give you guys a couple scenarios. I was going to go with head outside single right now, but what I'm looking at the group and I think this is probably a need for you. So here's what happens. This is a scenario. It's not really a move. I hit a double leg, and Ryan here locks her on my waist. Okay. So I hit such a deep double. I hit such a good double that Ryan found in a position to sprawl. But what he tries to do is he tries to flip me over. And what he tries to do is he tries to take my head, my hips to the same size as my head. This happens also if I hit a really hard double leg and I blast him backwards. Right? He'll lock her on my waist. And here's his basic goal. He's going to try to take my hips to the same side of my head like that. And I see this all the time with little kids. Okay? High schoolers too. He flips this over. Now he squares his hips to the mat. And I end up underneath the guy like this. This is a very basic position, a very common position that I have to have in my ability to counter that has to be ingrained in my body. Okay? You have to feel it. And what we're going to do is we're going to run our hips to the opposite side of my head. All right, screw this leg. All right. I hit a double leg. He locks her on my waist. As he tries to flip me over, I run my hips this direction. The opposite side of my head. Notice. He tries to go backwards, tries to flip me over. I run my hips to the opposite side of my head. I always keep my head above him. And notice, once we land here, what he's probably going to do is curl his feet to his butt. Right? He's going to try to keep fighting this position. He's trying to create a scramble. And notice one very important thing. I landed with my right hip down. My right hip stays down, okay? Here's what you're going to want to do. Little dudes, you got to pay attention. This is what your instinct says. Your instinct's wrong, but this is what instinct says. Instinct says drive in. So you guys do this. You drive into the guy, and then he grabs your leg. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep my right hip down here. He's going to stay locked to my waist. My goal here is to capture his legs. I'm going to capture his hips by stepping over his legs. I'm going to run. As I run, I'm going to step over. I'm going to hook. Notice I hook here. Stay locked. When I hook here, now I'm going to curl my foot back, bring my hips in. I do this. I bring my hips in, make my body nice long. Now I hook into him, he bellies down, and I come. Very basic position, basic reaction. Again, he's going to try to flip me over. I'm going to counter by running my hips to the opposite side of my head. Notice, I hit a double. I hit a double leg in box. As he tries to flip me over, I'm going to run my hip to the opposite side of my head. Notice, I end up with my right hip down. My right hip is down, my head is above him. All right, I'm not going to drive to my knee. All right, I'm not going to drive up into him. I'm going to keep my hip down. I'm going to run. I go towards his feet. I step over. I hook. Again, I run towards his feet. I step over. I hook. Now, I bring my hips in. I make my body nice and long. Notice, I'm pulling his legs back. I look into him. Now, I've secured his hips. I work up. He bellies down. Defensive guy, he's doing a good job. He's going to lock her on my waist. He's going to try to flip me over. Offensive guy, we're going to run our feet to the opposite side of our head. So this way. I hit a double leg. He locks. Tries to flip me over. I run. On my hips to the opposite side of my head. From here, I step over, I hook. I work into him. get my 2 points. Pretty simple. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.